Hi everyone, my name is Juan. I use he, him as pronouns. I'm one of the resident advisors here in Northwood 5, apartment 2314. And this video is just to give you a welcome to the community here in Northwood and going over a few quick policies, as well as giving you an apartment walkthrough of my own apartment and showing you what you can do with the space. So we'll go ahead and get started with going over some policies. There are a lot of different policies that we follow here in Northwood, which are outlined in the CLAM, or Community Living at Michigan. And so I'm just going to highlight a few of the ones that come up the most or we get most questions about. So firstly, there are quiet hours here that we follow from 9 p.m. To 9 a.m. And so typically the noise isn't really an issue here in Northwood 5, just because we have a lot of children and families, like graduate students with families that live here. And so it's not, an undergraduate setting or a setting where there's a lot more nighttime noise. But that is something that we follow, 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. We do have some guest policies so here in Northwood 5, it's a mix of people who are graduate students with families and single graduate students, some who are living on their own and some who have roommates. So there's an online roommate agreement that people who do have roommates can complete. And then again, that wouldn't necessarily be expected of someone who's living with their own family. And so that's something that we really encourage people to fill out in general, just because it's very proactive, and you can talk through a lot of things with your roommate and make sure that you're on the same wavelength about just cleanliness, having guests over, etc. So as far as what the formal policy is for guests here in Northwood, for non-shared apartments, so those with people with families, there's up to 4 weeks during a 6-month period that you're able to have guests. And for anyone who wants to get like a guest pass, so in every single one of the lots there's 2-hour visiting parking spots, but for guests who might be here for a bit longer, you can buy a $5 parking pass for a whole week for any guest that you have. And then the guest policy for single graduate students is having a total of, we allow no more than a total of 7 overnight stays per month. And then it's just expected that this is something that you will discuss with your roommate ahead of time. And besides that, just know that you all would be responsible for your guests, and they have to abide by the policies that are outlined in the CLAM. Know that this is also a smoke-free campus, so sometimes we have had some of those issues come up in the past, but just like anywhere on campus you might see that. So just a reminder that that is something that we follow here, including in Northwood, since it is still a part of the university campus. Besides that, a few more policies. Children's safety is really important to us here for the leadership team, and it's of particular importance in Northwood 5, because we do have a lot of people with families and children, and so we do care about their well-being, and so we know that so the children have to be supervised at all times in the community, even when visiting the Northwood Community Center. So that's something to keep in mind. And if there are ever conflicts that arise, there's different resources on campus, so you can always feel free to reach out to me if there's something with a neighbor or someone within the community, some issue that comes up, or you can reach out to the campus resources, which are things like OSCR or HSRC, which is the Housing Student Conflict Resolution Office. And just a couple of, as far as other resources to get connected to, if you ever wanted to get connected to an RA for some type of incident that you feel needs an in-person response, and it's kind of like off-duty hours, or just outside of the business day, there's always an RA that's on duty every day from 9:30 p.m. to 7 a.m. And that's a number that you all can have, and that I'll try to include in this video, hopefully in some text sort here. beyond that, I'll also plug in some helpful resources at the end of this. And some other regulated items that come up are humidifiers. Those are not allowed unless you have a documented medical condition. So if you do have that documentation, you can email that directly to housing to get that approved, since we do health and safety inspections here. And things that also would go to housing is getting an emotional support animal registered, since no dogs or cats are allowed here unless you have that documentation as well. So that's something to keep in mind. You are allowed to have fish that are in tanks that are less than 30 gallons. So yeah, those are all the policies that I wanted to cover with you all. And now it's just going to be an apartment walkthrough. So for apartment walkthrough, we're starting here down in my living room. Something to keep in mind is that a lot of all the bedrooms upstairs don't have any lamps. And even I think with this overhead light, there's still lacks a bit of light in the living room, so I would definitely recommend adding in more lamps for your space. As soon as you walk into the apartment, there's a closet in the entry, which all should have your fire extinguisher and a recycling bin. So that's something that you can grab from that closet. The back door will have a safety bar, in addition to the regular lock. So sometimes it'll be hiding up here. So just know that you can pull that down. And if it's missing or broken, you can file a fix-it request. So fix-it is the maintenance system on campus, with on-campus housing that you can utilize. And both all maintenance repairs, as well as utilities are all included as part of your rent. So that's a really big perk of living here in Northwood. All apartments will also come with a modem, which is here, but you will have to purchase your own router and get the Wi-Fi set up yourself. And if you're having any issues, then you can contact IT services to help you troubleshoot through some of that. There's the kitchen there, and then so now I'm walking through the basement, and so this will be where there's 2 smoke detectors that are also carbon monoxide detectors, and to see that they're functioning, just see that there's a green light there, or you can press the test button. The good thing about Northwood 5 as well is that there is a washer and dryer included in every unit. So this is the washer, which you all can figure out. There's also a lot of space for storage here, which is really nice. And then this is a dryer, and something that some people can't have trouble figuring out is that this is where the lint collector is, that you should remove the lint that's there after every use, of course. So now we'll go upstairs to the bedrooms. Oh, and there is also here, here's the thermostat. Some units here in Northwood have an AC unit, others don't. And those that do, you can control your own temperature here. It's not centralized in Northwood 5. So now moving on to the stairs. Like I mentioned, each of the rooms don't have lamps, so it's important to get those. Here's the bathroom, and I'm living in a 3-bedroom apartment, so this is 1 bedroom where I just have my keyboard and yoga mat, some plants. There's a bookshelf here in the middle, which is really nice. This is what I've kind of converted into my office space. And then lastly is the actual bedroom. So I don't have much in here aside from my bed and wardrobe there, their dresser. But I think that's all I have to show. Usually we would do this apartment walkthrough and going over some of these policies in person, but unfortunately, given everything that's going on in the world right now, this is what we're opting for instead. But I'm really looking forward to this next year with all of you. Again, I'm always here as a resource for you, so never hesitate to reach out. And I'm looking forward to this next year of building community together. Take care.